Are you a real estate investor thinking about getting started in real estate investing but second guessing if this is the right thing for you? Keep watching this video because I'm going to share with you 4 reasons why most real estate investors fail and how you can overcome them. My name is Tharmila Rajasingam. I'm a real estate investor, real estate agent, and a global team leader with the XP Realty brokerage. If this is your first time coming to our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can get updates on more content like this. And if you have any questions at all throughout this video, make sure you leave it in the comment section below. And make sure you watch this video to the very end because I'm going to give you some information as to how you can get access to off-market deals as Canadians investing in the US. And also, if you are an investor looking for a realtor, investment-based realtor, make sure you connect with us. We work all around the GTA in the Greater Toronto area, but we're also connected to agents. I have a 40-agent team group that is in North America, in the United States, as well as in Canada. So I can put you in touch with some top realtors who are primarily focuses on investments. But also keep in mind that our brokerage, we operate in 23 countries. So if you're looking to invest anywhere around the world, I can definitely connect you with a realtor who knows exactly what they're doing and who doing very similar work as us. And so let's talk a little bit about some of the reasons why real estate investors fail and they don't make it, they don't grow. Number one is due diligence. A lot of them make a lot of mistakes and they, do things thinking that they're doing it right, and they're following strategies that aren't proven strategies that work. They haven't done the research and they don't take the time to do the research in every step they take. Every single person that we work with, every single paper, documents that we sign, there's layers of due diligence that go into it. I highly recommend it. Even some of the joint venture partners that we partner with, we do a thorough research on them, due diligence. We do everything from background checks, criminal background checks, credit history, name it, we check it. Is because you're partnering with people, you're working closely with people, and and this is your business, and it's going to negatively impact your business, especially from a financial perspective, where you won't be ever be able to invest again. So, or might even lose some of the things that you already have. And it's really important that you do your research because it's going to really not only affect your life, it can affect your family's life and your future goals. So really important, take the time to every step you take in the real estate investment journey, you take the time to thoroughly do due diligence. Even when you are buying a property, as a realtor, I can tell you that if you're buying a property, an investment property with tenants, and trust me, Josh and I, our first investment property, we inherited tenants. And if you guys know this, if you met us at real estate investing events, we told you some really funny stories of things that we went through, some really insanely crazy stories of tenants that we've inherited. We assumed tenants was one of the biggest mistakes we made, and there's definitely some lots of cons that come with that. And I highly recommend you do your research before doing that. And if any real estate agents advise you to do it, they probably don't have their investment portfolio. So I highly recommend you do a thorough due diligence, especially if you're inheriting tenants. There are instances why you would, and there are instances, lots of instances why you shouldn't. And the other number two reasons why investors fail is rushing into making a decision on an investment property. Or this is a caveat, this is also another issue why a lot of real estate investors struggle with, is not moving quick enough. This market is, we're in an interesting time right now with the market. It's balanced market, but more so of a buyer's market than seller's market. However, in the real estate investment space, it's still very active. So how do you find that balance of making the right choice on a property, but at the same time move fast enough so that you acquire it, but at the same time you take the time to do the due diligence. So there's definitely a balance, and that's why you work with the key people in your team, and you work to get and have a unified goal that you're working towards, whether it be a real estate agent, mortgage agent, financial advisors, as well as your lawyer. You're working with all these key commonalities, all these team players to move you towards the right goal with proper due diligence process in place. Number three is, this is one of those things. If you're looking to grow your portfolio, this is one of those things I highly recommend. One of the reasons why a lot of investors make a mistake on is self-managing their investment portfolio or their properties. Yes, one or two is somewhat manageable, but if you don't have the right knowledge, the right tenancy act access to strategies on how to communicate with your tenants, process in place to really track every single communication, so that in the event that you get called up to go to the tribunal board, you know exactly the information to present, every step you need to take. That's why for me, we got our license as real estate investors. We got our license as real estate agents, because we just wanted access to more information. We wanted to understand every single nuances that went into everything about real estate industry. That's just us. We like to do the homework, which is why there's a lot, many of the time we don't make the mistakes, but we always keep growing, is because we have systems in place and we have the right team that knows exactly what they're doing and their specialty in their area of work. And that's why we have property management company on every single property that we have, whether we have them in Ontario or in the United States, because it is really important. And also, it gets pulled away from the things that we want to do. It pulls away from us growing. So I recommend that, really look at your goals, overarching goal. Look at your knowledge as to real estate investing, everything you know about your market, everything you know about Tenancy Act, everything you know about being a landlord. And if you want to take on that, and Josh and I were, we were, especially when we had these properties, we weren't even parents yet, and then we were new parents. We have two young children, so this is something that we don't want to do, even though we know everything really well. And I recommend that you know the Tenancy Act and how to be a landlord regardless, and what your responsibilities are, because I highly recommend that you are a project manager, you're a business owner when you're a real estate investor. So keep that in mind. The last thing I want to mention, the reasons why most investors fail, is the lack of financial planning. They have, they go into it buying that best, biggest turnkey property, and it holds them back from duplicating, or they lose a lot of money, especially with the interest rates rising. They don't do the right cash flow analysis. It's really all about that, but it really depends on your goals too. We have properties in the US that cost far less, I mean fraction of what we own here in Ontario, but they bring in a really good cash flow, and their USD as well, currency, where in Ontario it wasn't really about cash flow for us. It was really about mortgage pay down, appreciation, growing asset net worth over time. So it really depends on your portfolio, the type of portfolio you're looking for, but what your goal is. Is it about, you know, alleviating you from your 9 to 5, that rat race, or is it about shortening the time gap of your retirement, or just outright retiring you right away? It really depends on what you want to use or leverage real estate investing for. And I highly recommend that it really about taking your knowledge, but your goals, primarily your why, and playing it hand in hand and finding some balance. I hope this is helpful for you. And just wanted to mention that we are in the process of putting together a real estate investment, a savvy real estate investor toolkit, a course. If you're more interested to learn more about that, because Josh and I, not only are we investors, but we're also agents and team leaders. So we bring a ton of real estate technology and automation tools, free tools that you can leverage to grow your portfolio. If you want to know more information about it, there's a pre-sale happening right now where you can save a ton on it. Click on the link in the description below to get access to it. Thank you so much. I hope this is helpful for you. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. If you want to contact at all, and if you want to partner with us to purchase properties in the US as Canadian nationals, connect with us as well. We'll love to share more information. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video. My name is Tharmila Rajasingam. I'm a real estate investor, a real estate agent, and a global team leader. I will see you next time.